All right, let's get right into it. There's this really powerful idea that you don't just wait around for a better life to show up. You have to build it. And what are the building blocks for that life? Well, they're your daily habits. If you've been feeling stuck, it's not some personal failure. It's really just a sign that your habits might be working against you. But here's the good news. You can start rewiring your entire mindset starting today. I mean, you can't get much more direct than that, right? Your reality at this very moment, how you think, how you feel, how you act, it all comes down to your routines. Feeling lost or just mentally exhausted isn't a sign that you're broken. Nope. It's just feedback. It's your life telling you that your current system, your collection of habits, isn't getting you where you truly want to go. And this really lays out the choice that we all have every single day. On one hand, you've got living by default. That's where you're just reacting to whatever the day throws at you, stuck in the same old routines and excuses. But on the other hand, you have living by design. This is where you take charge with a clear purpose and you act with intention. One is about letting the day control you. The other is about you controlling the day. So how do we actually start living by design? Well, it all begins with the foundation, and that means owning your morning. This is all about taking control of your day before the world, with all its emails and notifications and other people's agendas, takes it from you. Seriously, the people who really grow and succeed, they don't just drift through their mornings. They decide how it's going to go.
It really boils down to two core actions. First, wake with a purpose. This means you know why you're getting out of bed. It's not about just being busy. It's about being intentional from the get-go. And second, plan your day. This super simple act removes all the guesswork, it cuts down on anxiety, and it frees up your mind to focus on what actually matters, instead of just reacting to whatever feels loudest.
So let's try to reframe that to-do list. Instead of asking, what do I have to do today? Ask yourself this question. Are you building confidence by keeping the promises you make to yourself? Are you building strength by tackling that thing you'd rather avoid? Are you building a future that the future you is going to thank you for? See, this completely shifts your mindset from passive to active, from a chore list to a creation list. Okay, so we've got the foundation in place. Now let's talk about the engine that drives this whole thing, your mindset. This is the internal work, and it all starts with the most important conversation you'll have all day, the one that's happening inside your own head. This is so important. Just think about it for a second. If someone else talked to you the way your inner critic sometimes does, harsh, impatient, totally negative, you would never hang out with them. You cannot build genuine confidence by constantly tearing yourself down. Talking to yourself with respect isn't about having a big ego. It's about giving yourself the same basic kindness and encouragement you'd offer to a good friend. And here's what that looks like in the real world. It's about catching those automatic negative thoughts. So instead of a big, dramatic statement like, I always mess things up, you pivot to something that's actually accurate and constructive. I'm still learning this. This isn't just about being nice to yourself. This is mental training. You're literally rewiring your brain, one thought at a time. You know how fast this happens, right? You get an impulse, a little spark to act on a goal. But almost instantly, your brain, which just wants to be comfortable, whispers, let's do it later. And if you listen, boom, the excuses flood in, and that moment for action is just gone. The secret is to move, to physically move within that first tiny window before hesitation can take root. Just let that sink in for a minute. It's not failure that holds most people back. It's the habit of constantly putting things off. See, every time you finish what you start, no matter how small it is, you're not just checking a box. You're building integrity with yourself. You're proving to your own brain that you're someone who follows through. And that self-trust, that is the absolute bedrock of confidence. All right, let's move on to the fuel for this entire system, your energy. I want you to think of it not just as something you get from sleep and food, but as this finite, precious resource. It's like a daily budget that you have to strategically manage and protect all day long. This chart is a perfect illustration of where our energy goes. So much of it just leaks out into pointless distractions, mindless scrolling, or those conversations that just leave you feeling completely drained. The whole game is to consciously reallocate that energy, plug the leaks, and pour it into what really matters, your big goals and your personal growth. Here it is. This is the simple, powerful filter you can use for pretty much any decision you have to make. Before you say yes to something, before you commit your time, just pause and ask yourself this one question. If the honest answer is, it drains me, then it might be time for a firm and totally guilt-free no. Remember, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's strategic. And of course, protecting your energy also means investing it wisely. It means actively saying yes to the habits that actually fuel you. Committing to learning just one new thing every single day, whether it's from an article, a podcast, whatever, is one of the best investments you can make to keep your mind sharp, adaptable, and ready for anything. So we've covered the foundation, the engine, and the fuel. Now let's get to the final and maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the thing that makes all of this work: consistency. This is how you make those new habits actually stick around for good. This is the journey every single new habit takes. At the beginning, it feels awkward, totally forced. Then you hit that middle phase, which is the real danger zone, where it just feels inconvenient. This is where most people quit. But if you can just push through that discomfort, you get to the end, where the habit becomes so ingrained it feels automatic, as natural as brushing your teeth.
This is such a critical point. Look, goals are great for setting a direction, but it's your systems, your consistent daily habits that actually determine your progress. Motivation is fickle. Inspiration comes and goes. But a system will carry you forward even on the days you don't feel like it at all.
And please, remember this: the breakthrough happens after the repetition. We all want results right away, but that magic moment where a habit finally becomes automatic, it's earned. It's earned by sticking with the process long enough for all that friction to disappear, until the action just becomes a part of who you are. So let's end with this thought. That future version of yourself that you dream about, that person isn't created in some distant, magical future. They are being built right now, today, by the habits you choose and the actions you see through to the end. So the real question is, what will you finish today to build that person?